Welcome to Switch Comics. My name is Marco, and today I'm very excited to talk about a comic sale that I've been watching. This is a comic that is very near and dear to my heart. I've covered this comic extensively on the channel, I guess, and I would like to think, for better or worse, I'm partly responsible for the incredible price that has just been this comic is sold for. Now, the comic in question, I pulled mine down off the wall. I didn't sell mine, but is all new Ghost Rider #1, the 1 in 25 variant. Now this is my copy. It's my 9.4. If you're not familiar with the what I've talked about on this channel, what I've done to this comic, I guess I'll wrap you up here. But this is an extremely rare book. Again, it's a 1 in 25 ratio from 2014 when they weren't, people weren't crazy about ratio variants then. It's incredibly hard to find. I spent a while looking for mine. I bought mine for about $200. Might have been a little bit more with shipping or something. I can't remember. After buying that one, which by the way is just my favorite book, I love the character, I love this cover, I think it's gorgeous. But even after getting that one, I've kept my eye on it ever since, and that was probably roughly 2-ish years ago, maybe a little longer. But yeah, ever since then, I've kept my eye on it because I wouldn't mind getting another one. When an opportunity came up, and I'm going to give it the rundown in case you have no idea about my channel, or if you're new or anything. When an opportunity came up for me to buy A Journey into Mystery 83, I started selling off a bunch of my comics so that I could fund it. And one comic that because with every comic I was like, oh, do I want to sell this? I don't know. I got rid of a lot of things I didn't necessarily want to make this happen. But one comic that I really debated was, do I sell my all new Ghost Rider #1? I know how insanely difficult it is to get, because honestly, most of the time, before I did anything, you couldn't even find this comic for sale on eBay. It just was one of those things. It didn't matter if you had $1 million. I couldn't find a buyer, or couldn't find a seller, I mean. So it didn't matter if I, funded that and then bought it back later, or tried to buy it back later, because there might not be another one to pick up, or at least really hard to find. So I debated whether to do this one or not, and I made a video. I made a few videos on the channel already about this book, where I put it up for sale, and I put it up for sale at $5,000, which is a ludicrous price. But I did it, and at the time it was the only one on eBay, and I did it more of as a science experiment. I didn't think anybody would pay $5,000. It was best offer. I wanted to see what people would offer on the book, because it was a book that also, I would have in my background of all my videos, and people would always ask me, how, are you selling that book? Can I buy that book from you? And multiple people tried to buy it from me. I always told them no. And then I was like, you know what? Out of more curiosity, again, I didn't really want to sell it, but more so out of curiosity, I was like, let's see what people will offer. So I put something crazy so no one would buy it. And then I was like, maybe somebody might offer $1,000. I'm just curious. I want to know, because it's hard to value a book that you don't ever see sell, and when I bought it, it was way before a lot of the Ghost Rider hype and then the Robbie Reyes hype and all that. So like even the cover A had doubled in price. So I was like, yeah, you know what? Screw it. I'll do a little science experiment. But the science experiment backfired hard. In which about 5 other people listed their copies, all graded, I think anywhere from 8.5 to 9.8, which, by the way, I did some research. There's, I think, just over 50 copies total on the CGC census, so that gives you a better indication of how incredibly rare this book is. My 9.4 is one of 7 9.4s that exist. But anyway, so yeah, it was... It didn't work out how I wanted it to. Instead, a bunch of people just put their... Which is crazy. I've never seen... I think the most before that I'd ever seen up for sale at once was 2 of that book on eBay. So it was crazy to see that many books, available at once for purchase. However, all of them were, asking. I think that the 9.8 person was asking about $10,000 and crazy numbers on these books. None of them sold, and I'd watched them all, put them all on my watch list or whatever, and I've got constant notifications for a while now, because a while back when I did this, that the book, they would lower the price or send out offers, just keep going lower and lower. So obviously the book wasn't worth that. So I made a video that was like, I inflated the price of the book or whatever, even though, I didn't, because they didn't sell. And if they don't sell, I didn't inflate the price. And it really was unintentional consequences, because again, I wanted to get that book. Wouldn't mind getting a higher grade, or even just another copy. There's not a lot of books that I would do that with, but I do have a few books that I really, really like, and I would like to get more copies of still. And only, I think I have a couple books that I've done that where I do actually have multiple copies of it. But anyway, regardless. So there was an eBay auction for this book at a 9.6, so one step higher. And when I first started looking at it, it was like 9 days out, to the finish. And I didn't say anything about it on the channel because I wanted to maybe get a shot at it. I wanted to spend maybe $500 was kind of my initial thought. And I was like, if it gets down to the wire and I have to spend a little bit more than that, I might do it. I'm not sure. Which, by the way, before this, the highest that I've seen this book sell for at a 9.6, I think, was roughly $800, and I saw a 9.8 go for exactly $1,000 plus shipping. So I was like, I don't really need another one, but I was like, it'd be cool to get a grade bump. And I was like, I might, I'd like to spend about $500, maybe $750 or so. I could go up to, I don't know, we'll see. But regardless, even, if I don't get it, I'm very curious to see the actual price. What it actually goes to and what someone actually is willing to pay for this thing. So I very quickly got outbid. I didn't technically even make a bid. It got to 500 very, very fast. And it wasn't much longer before it passed up anything that I could even afford to pay for. So yeah, this book finished, and it sold for $1,625, which, to my absolute knowledge, is a record-breaking sale for this book. Like I said, the highest I'd ever seen was a 9.8, a higher grade, go for $1,000. And that might have been about a year ago, maybe a little less. And what really hurts is that book was local too. It was in my city, and I could have got it. I didn't have $1,000 at the time, but that really hurts. Man, I wanted that book so bad. I just didn't have the money. And at the time, I thought that price was a little high, honestly. But I went and screwed it up even more. And like I said, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this, because my actions caused people to raise the price on this book. And I can only assume that people seeing those $5,000, asking prices made someone feel very comfortable spending $1,600 on this book. But yeah, so here we are in the new, set precedent of the value of this book. I would be very curious to see a 9.8 sell. A lot of times with big books, you can see a doubling of price between the 9.6 and 9.8. So could we be looking at a $3,000+ book at a 9.8? Until we see one sell, I don't know. But this is very exciting news for my channel. I have been very invested, at least emotionally, in this book. Like I said, mine's not going anywhere. My favorite book, even over my journey in the Mystery 83. And that's why, this is definitely a much bigger grail. It's worth more money, and should probably always be worth more money. But this is, it means a lot to me, and I've talked about it a lot. If you haven't watched my other videos, go back and watch those, I guess, if you want to get caught up on all the information. But I just wanted to share this with everyone. because I did see one raw all new Ghost Rider cell, but it had some significant damage on it, and I think it still went for, I can't remember now because I was maybe a couple months back or something. I think it was like $400 or $500. So even that was pretty high. And thinking about that now, because I literally just remembered that, I'm a fool to think that I could have got that 9.6 for $500. It was very wishful thinking, you know. But I'm always going to be excited to see what this book is going for, whether it's going up or whether it's going down. It was kind of an unknown book, I felt like, and in many ways still kind of is. But with more people being exposed to Robbie Reyes as a character, more people thinking he might be the Ghost Rider that we get, hopefully more people going back and watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because that show's amazing, and Robbie Reyes was awesome in that show. But yeah, there's just more exposure, more eyes on that book, and more people realizing just how insanely difficult it is to get that book. So yeah, I've probably ruined my dreams of ever getting any other copy of this book, and that's a little sad. It is what it is, but at least I secured this one a couple years back. I don't know, definitely don't ever want to. It's crazy. I don't even know how to value this one. I mean, even if I put it at half, that's an $800 book. Half of what the 9.6 sold for. And, like I said, I paid $200 for it, so it's definitely, one of the better investments I've ever made. Even though I guess you could say that I tampered with the actual market on that one. I don't know. I just think it's neat and interesting, and there's no way I couldn't talk about this book selling. It's too pivotal to me and the channel, and I hope you found this interesting and exciting. Like I said, I don't know I feel excited in one way and sad in another. So I don't know. Let me know what you all think about it. I don't know if more. I don't know if I'll talk about this book again, unless there's another crazy sale. If there's a 9.8, I might talk about it again. I don't know. This might be the last video I do on it. We'll see. This book actually selling and actually hitting a huge number might cause some kind of snowball effect and make other people be like, wow, look at this, and then they have it they have it in their collection. They're like, I need to sell this book. They probably paid again $200 for it. So we'll see what happens. I may have caused irreparable damage, but that's going to be it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.